Hello there, and welcome to Pokemon Rumble Rush. So, if you didn't already know, then the second major island for the game has now been released. I did finish off the first island, I think it was Charizard Sea, and so now we're at Dragonite's Stormy Island, which means that we can't use any of our old Pokemon anymore. We have to start from scratch all over again, which kind of annoying, but I understand, you know, that's the only way that they can force you back into the game again. But this sea area, as far as I'm aware, has completely new types in it. So you've arrived at Dragonite Sea, Dragonite Gardevoir, and others are here, which is kind of cool. So as you can see, we're starting off at CP 35 to 85 here, and we have tons and tons and tons of bosses to get through, and looks like Gengar, Gardevoir, Dragonite, Gallade, Absol are the last bosses that we're going to go against here. So there's a lot of dark types, a lot of dragon types as well, but before in the old island, it used to be a lot better if you got Pokemon with the elements that were present on that sea or that island, whereas this time around, since we already have a lot of our gears upgraded for certain types, it's actually a lot better if we're going for like a Pokemon like Murkrow, for example, or say we get a Horsey or something. We have tons of water upgrade materials, so it would be much better for us to get different elements or different types to what the base game wants us to get, if that makes sense. I'm sure if you've played the first section of the island it will, but since we're just starting off, we are going to swap to this Murkrow because he's got higher base damage and it's not effective against the other Murkrows, which is better than the ones with any dark attacks. So first, starting off with this, you will be at a major advantage if you played through the entire first island, because again, you've got all the extra gears, you have the special summon gears for things like Charizard and Blastoise, and I have all of those as well. So a lot of these early bosses in particular are going to be an absolute cakewalk. But here we go, we've got Murkrow, and a Hoot. Most of what the problem is going to be with progressing, to start off with, is going to be collecting enough Pokemon to actually move on and beat the super bosses. That's going to be our main problem here. But if you are a newer player, you will have to take it nice and slow, slowly build up the amount of gears that you have using, you know, the ores that drop. And I will say, right off the bat, that it is much, much better to be using friend islands, you know, with the... When you're on the map, if you look at the hot air balloons that other people have, it is much better to use those early on because they can give you islands that you, or areas that you haven't actually unlocked yet with Pokemon in it that you haven't actually unlocked in there either. And they can be super useful for getting Pokemon to either, you know, fill up the Pokedex or just get some 5-star level Pokemon like Kingdra. There is a Kingdra available in a really early level. It is a 5-star. I'm pretty sure at this point that is the highest level that we have right now. But the Kingdra one seems to be the best bet if you're looking to grind for high CP Pokemon, that is. But more Hoot, more Murkrows. Seems like they're obsessed with giving us birds in the beginning here. We do have our first piece of ore. And I do have quite a few gems in that I've been hoarding. We've got a lot of refining tickets. I'm just going to use it anyway, because this is the first piece of dark ore that we have. So, if we do that, we get Snappy, we get Dark Move Plus, which only 3 of them, and 500 gold. You know, the earlier on you are in the game, the less ore you're actually going to get out of it. And the ores are basically the pay-to-win part of the game. So it's unfortunate, but if you are stuck for ores and things like that, you just gotta wait and take your time with them, really. But here we've got the CP that we need, but we don't have enough Pokemon caught, so, you know, well, it doesn't really matter what we catch here. We've still got to pretty much catch every single Pokemon in this entire area. So, it's what it is, a Pawniard Forest. I have not seen that Pokemon in a long time. Like, just in general, Pawniard and Bishop I don't really hear about them very often. Like, you know, you think about Charizard, everyone always talks about Charizard and Charizard cards, or like, a lot of people's favourite Pokemon is Umbreon. But I never really hear about Bishop. Don't know what it is, there's just a hatred for Bishop, I think, or just not a lot of people know about him. Because, you know, there's the people that have been playing Pokemon for years, but only really liked the first couple of gens, and they're not really into, you know, the Gen 5, 6 Pokemon at all. But it's cool seeing him. He's got an interesting typing as well, Dark and Steel. Weird Pokemon overall. But mainly, when we're going up against these super bosses, it is a good idea to think about what the type matchup is going to be. So, for example, Dragonair, if we could catch another dragon type, that would be the best case scenario. We don't have a dragon type, we don't need a dragon type, and I'm going to throw on a good gear. So I'm going to search by level. Where is it? There it is. There's a 1053 power Charizard and Blastoise gear, which is incredibly good to start off with this second island. And we don't have any upgrade materials, really, so we have to use the plus 10 move gear. Wow, that is such a bonus. My god, I actually hate move gears so much. It's just their way of forcing you to use the specific types. But this is going to be a walk in the park, really. Dragonair, don't even try it. Don't even try this with me. You ain't gonna do diddly squat, my friend. Ain't gonna do diddly squat. But you can see we've got plenty of time to do this. Not an issue at all. Would be different if we didn't have that Charizard gear. But Little Murkrow has already done it for us, so I'm nice and happy about that. You know, when I was doing the first island, it did take so much grinding. It was absolutely unreal. So I'm hoping that for the people that have been playing the game since release day, which I have, that we can actually get a little bit of, you know, a slight advantage in terms of the types moving on, because it was painful. I sat there and I grinded for one Venusaur for 16 hours to get myself through the last island at one point. It's at that stage where you're just sort of like, what am I doing with my life? You know, why am I sitting here? You know, I was always doing something else at the time, because this game is basically, while you're doing something, you can do this at the same time, and, you know, sort of do... It's like multitasking. It teaches you how to multitask, I guess. But, I mean, like, almost a full day to get a singular Venusaur. Not cool. Not cool at all, dude. Yes, Pika. I don't know why the Pikachu in particular for this game sounds so weird. Like, it's like how in the DS games at one point with Pikachu it just started saying its name out loud rather than doing its weird, like, Game Boy noise. And I was like, whoa, step back, Nintendo. That's a little bit too weird for me. Like, I don't need it to be saying Pikachu straight at my face. That's a bit weird. But, you know, that's just the way that it is. You know, everyone knows Pikachu. It's the main mascot. So I don't blame them, really, but it's kind of weird. We do also have some Dragon Ore, finally. I am very intrigued to see what we get out of a level 2 ore. Probably literally nothing, but I'm going to use our 60-minute faster tickets. This isn't the best idea. We could probably definitely get through these early stages without opening up these... excuse my voice. Without opening these low-tier ores, because the lower the tier the ore, the less actual gears you get out of it. So if you can, try and get through as many stages as you can without wasting your gems or without wasting your time skips on them. I'm just doing it so that I can see, you know, what to expect out of these and see if, you know, there's anything special in particular. But we are looking for a Dragonite, what they called summon gear. Yeah, sure, I don't care. I'm going to take on Bishop. Doesn't matter. There he is. Big boy! Look at him with his missile arms. But yeah, we're looking for Dragonite super rare summon gears, just like the Charizard and the Blastoise ones. And if you didn't know, if you get the Dragonair gear, or the, I think it's Curlier gear for the Gardevoir one as well, then you can actually use the lower tier Pokemon gears to upgrade the higher tier one. So if you get the Dragonair gears, you can upgrade the Dragonite ones using the Dragonair gears, which is kind of weird, but it really, really helped with upgrading my Charizard and Blastoise gears. I mean, the gears themselves, they are really good, but they're not so incredibly good that by having them at level 3, you're just gonna win every single fight immediately. But let's check this hot air balloon. Pikachu, sure. Don't really want that. We've already got our own Pikachu, sure. So I guess no one else really has any hot air balloons around here. We see the psychic types like Mr. Mime, Curlier. We've got Houndour. I think the way that it works is the dragon types are generally found in the water areas, because you don't really have water types at this point. And oh my god, my phone is running slowly. That's the problem with Pokemon Rumble Rush. It's a mobile game, so I can't run it on my PC. If it was on my PC, this game would run perfectly, but, you know, having recording gear and playing a game at the same time on mobile, oh my god, it tanks my phone so badly. I wish it was a little bit better for that. I really, really do, but, you know, we're just gonna deal with it the way that it is. For now, we will slowly but surely douse these poor Whoopers and Trapinches with mud. I have to say though, Trapinch is super adorable in the Rumble games. And it's kind of weird. Are they just using the exact same models in Rumble Rush that they used in, like, the original Rumble games? Like, how old are they now? 10 years? 8 years or something? Something crazy like that? Are they still using the exact same models that they were using way back then? Because that must save them so much time. Like, having to actually put it into the game. Like, that's insane, if that is the case. And, oh, I just remember, we've got Charizard. I ain't even using it. Don't need to use Charizard. Oh, we got some rare ore, though. That is going to be super useful for us. The rare ores, even though this one's going to be a low tier ore, the rare ores do take 10 hours to open up, but they will be very, very handy for us because they give the most resources out of them. You know, makes sense. The longer it takes, the more resources you get out of it. So it's understandable, definitely. But let's just start refining it anyway. If we need to give up on it, we will. We do have all of these skip tickets, which, again, I wouldn't recommend for you to do this, but I want to see exactly how much we're getting out of these personally. So, avoid doing this until you get some higher tier ores on average, but I'm doing this for the sake of science, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So, what else do we have? We've got plenty of gems coming out of this game as well, because we've got our all of our main adventure stuff. We do also have a really high tier Wooper, which we might as well use him instead, because, you know, he's better than our poor Trapinch. Goodbye, Trapinch, and use that awful move gear again. Yeah, there we go. We'll swap him in, and we'll go take him on another adventure, I guess. So what do we have? Altaria, catch 6 more kinds of Pokemon in this area. God damn it, dude. It's grinding for the actual new stuff that's going to be the problem this time. Man, I remember at one point there was a Pikachu, sure. There was a Pokemon at one point that one of the super bosses, and I had to catch like an extra 20 or something before I could move on. It's probably going to end up being the same thing this time around. Not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it at all. But I would say that at least you're getting new Pokemon when you're doing that. The problem with just grinding for higher CP is that you're not getting any new stuff, and you've just got to bank on getting a 4-star or 5-star drop. And they're not common. They're not common at all. They're just a massive pain in the ass, basically, is what they are. You gonna drop? No? Not gonna drop for me? Yeah, I know, Wooper. It's a Very depressing day, isn't it? Very, very depressing indeed. Oh, we've still got plenty more that we can do though. Oh wait, we did get a new one. Oh, never mind, I'm an idiot. Can we do this? Actually, we have a horsey with water gun, don't we? Why don't we just use the horsey instead? Because we've got water upgrades. Of course, it's what I've been saying all along. So we will equip Mr. Charizard because there's no reason not to. And we've got plus 120 on water, which isn't a whole great deal. But it's definitely going to win this fight for us. This is what I'm talking about. If you've got these gears upgraded, you're going to have a very smooth sailing, at least for the beginning of Dragonite's Stormy Island. Come on, Altaria. Come on, spawn the weaklings. Spawn them. There we go, little baby Swabloos. Thank you for your offer of death to me. And little old Altaria here has been defeated. You know, I'll take it. And we get a guide feather. I guess I'll take the guide feather, just in case we need it. You never know when you're gonna come up against a big hump and then not be able to actually move on. So I'll take it. Take it indeed. So who's the next one? Shiftry? Oh god. He's a scary boy. Big scary boy. So now we've got Altaria and Kingdra have actually spawned now, which means that Kingdra Shore should be available to us. But we need to go in to grind and catch a bunch of Pokemon again. Typical. Absolutely typical. So yeah, it's probably better for us to search for this in the water area. Probably won't get it straight away. Yeah, Vibrava Shore. Well, you know, for now, I am going to go ahead and keep grinding in these areas until I get all the Pokemon that I need, because it's kind of boring. And, I guess next time we'll go ahead and take on Mr. Shiftry, so I'll just let this run in the background while I'm, you know, signing off. But, you know, thank you for joining me. If there is any more advice that you need with, you know, getting into this game or how this game works, or maybe I'm doing something incredibly wrong. I don't know, I've never bothered to really search up Pokemon Rumble Rush or anything before, so let me know what you think anyway. I can't wait to be grinding this game for 7 billion hours, but anyway, for now, ooh, my brother! Forgot. Anyway, for now, thank you for joining me, and until next time, I will see you then!